Yo, what it do, man? This is GrindFace and the therapist, man. I'm Dimitrius.
And I'm Saniyyah.
We've been together for 28 years, married for like 23, 22, but who's counting? This is episode 12, and we're going to touch on overindulging, man. So, Saniyyah, start us off with people that overindulge.
It's not about people that overindulge. I just had a thought that came to mind. And I was thinking about social media. If a person looks at social media for long periods of time, I think there would be some type of effect. Even if you're basically working as yourself. Because what made me think about it, I saw this article, I think it was like last year, where this company was contracted with Facebook to basically go through all their content and the stuff that was like gruesome, violent, things like that they were supposed to remove it. And they were saying by watching it all day, it was basically taking a mental toll on their mental health. And so I was thinking about social media, and how people just watch. People say they don't watch TV, but in reality, social media is TV.
Yeah, everybody got a channel.
Not just the channel. What I'm saying is people, they pride themselves, I don't watch TV, but how many hours do you spend on social media? You substituted TV for social media. And I think when people over engage in social media, it could be a negative thing. Just like if you overindulge in watching TV all day, or you overindulge in eating cake. I think if you overindulge in anything, it's unhealthy. It should be a balance, because eventually, if you're on social media constantly, depending on what you're looking at, eventually I think it's going to take a mental toll. I think negative thoughts will creep in. I think comparison will creep in. I think your mind just will wander in different areas and directions it typically doesn't go.
Well, you saying overindulge. So what if you overindulge in positivity? Would that be a problem with too much positive shit? You know what I'm saying? Feeding yourself too much positivity?
I don't think it's something wrong with too much positivity, but I think in everything there needs to be balance, right? If you're overindulging in too much positivity, I think you can lose sight of reality.
Good point.
Like, for example, don't get me wrong, I think I'm a very positive person, but let's say there's a real life situation and it's like, positive. I think you should be positive all the time.
What they call it, positive Patty.
I don't think there's anything wrong with a positive Patty. People used to call me that. What I'm saying is, when it's overkill, it could be to the point where it loses balance. So let's say a serious situation. No, because that would be faith. I'm trying to think about a situation where, people will lose touch of reality. Like, it's cool to be positive, but I also think you should be grounded in reality too. You should have faith.
So it's not just a negative thing. It's also things that's good for you. You could also overindulge and make it bad for you.
Well, I think too much time in let's say, for example, you could be watching positive stuff all day long, but that goes back to our old previous podcast, is like, if you're saying yes to something, you're saying no to something. So even if let's say you're watching hours and hours of it, it could become a negative, because then where's the time for your family? Where's the time in everything? I think there always needs to be a balance. I'm not saying just have positive thoughts. You should have positive thoughts all day. But let's say I'm listening to podcasts all day long. And I'm like, but they're positive. But it's like, okay, when you going to shower? When you going to get up and do something productive? Like, yeah, you listening to it all day, but when are you going to take action and act on what you're listening to?
So it falls about what's taking all your time.
Not necessarily.
Because it's like you going to the gym. You on your workout tip because you want to be healthy. That would be considered a positive thing. But if you constantly working out, and at the gym you lacking in your relationship somewhere, or
I think it should be a balance. I don't think you should overindulge in anything. I think it should always be a healthy balance. Life is a healthy balance.
Okay, that's a coin. Life is a healthy balance. So you do need a little bit of negativity in there to balance.
No. I did not say you need a little. I don't think you need negativity at all. I'm just saying it made me think about it because of the line of work that you do, and they were trying to sue. I believe it was Facebook.
Yeah, they wouldn't have no mental health for the employees, and they needed to process what they see because it's filtering how they see reality.
So you think like, okay, they're just doing gruesome and like all this violent content, but let's take that out. You know, we're regular people. You see fatalities, you see murders, you see brutality by the police, you see fights, you see subbing, you see negative comments. How you
think, yeah.
So I'm not going to say it curbs how you think, but I think too much of anything, there should be a balance. I mean, for me, I don't really like taking that in at all, but I'm just saying it sparked the thought.
As an employee mindset of a point, because this is their job. So it's like they kind of forced to see this stuff. So as an employer, they should have an option where they could release some of this stuff.
Well, I think they need to give them, it should be a balance. Like, okay, for example, we see clients all day, right? But then I have assemblies. Then they go to mental health fairs. I let them get out. So there's I try to have a balance. So they're just not session, back to back with heavy stuff, because now they need to release. And then I give them 2 hours of downtime. You know what I mean? So there's a balance where we're just not taking all this in and then for 8 hours straight and then.
But do you think that's really the employer's responsibility?
Yeah, I do. I do.
So if I hire you to unload this trailer, this truck, unload these boxes, this is what I hire you for. I don't need to switch up your job duty. This is what I hire you for. So,
no, but
you know what I'm saying?
No, I think as an employer, it's always your responsibility to make sure that you're doing your due diligence by your employees. So my thing is this: I always want to be the employer that I would want to work for. So if I was an employee, I ask myself, would I want to work for you? And so my biggest thing is, yes, I hired you for a job, but it is also my responsibility to make sure you're mentally sane. I'm in the mental health field. So for me to have their therapists working with people and they're not mentally okay, that's all the way backwards. I always have to make sure my therapists are okay.
Okay. I mean, I guess some employers don't feel like that, because I doubt if Amazon thinking like that. But hey,
but this is the thing. Amazon is built their company to be a multi-billion-dollar company. Great. I have a lot of respect for the building of how he built his company. But I never want to lose sight in the bottom line and forget about the people, because the people are what makes your company, right? And I feel like when you invest in the people, they'll be willing to invest back, and not even just to do it because you want them to invest back. I just think it's humanity. You know, you want people to feel okay. You want people to be all right. I don't want my employees, my staff just coming to work and not liking what they do or not wanting to be there. Let me tell you something. When you have a staff full of people that don't want to be there, because I know when I was at jobs and I didn't want to be there, my attitude was for sure I didn't want to be there. And it was because of leadership. And so I never want to get to the point to where I personally forget about the people that are helping me build.
Yeah, but at the same time, I mean, 9 times out of 10, most people don't want to be at work, period, point blank. It's work.
I think it depends on what you do, because when, okay, for example,
a lot of people is not doing what they
then that's the problem. If you're doing something that you don't want to do, I could say the difference. When I was at jobs when it wasn't in my field and I had to do it for a paycheck, I hated it. But when I was actually working at the school or doing therapy and in my field, I was like a kid in a candy store.
So hold on. So you saying you was at a job doing it for the paycheck and you hated it?
Correct.
So this is not the employer's problem.
That's a person.
You need to get in a lane where you enjoy your job.
But this is the thing. I wouldn't hire someone unless they just lying, and then you lying, and that's on you. But I always tell people, you shouldn't just go into an interview and with the mindset of I'm being interviewed, but you should also be interviewing the employer. It should go both ways, because they should be seeing if you're an asset for their company, but you should also be seeing if what they're giving aligns with what I want to do and is it an asset to me. So it should go both ways. So it should be fair exchange, no robbery. So if you're in a position and you don't want to be there, then that's on you, because I only want to hire people that truly enjoy doing what we do.
I mean, that's a good concept, but it's kind of hard too.
I mean, people are gonna lie.
Yeah.
I've had it happen. I mean,
I lied on many applications. Like shit, get my foot in the door and just.
Have I ever? I've never lied on an on an application.
Yeah, I did. Shit. Shout out to them jobs that hired me though.
But I will say this. But I always gave 100%. But we're deviating from what we were supposed to be talking about, which I guess we can talk about whatever we want to talk about. But just overindulging. So I was just thinking about that, and I was thinking about you. And I'm like, you're on social media a lot because this is what you have to do.
You know, the funny thing that I'm on social media, and you tell me this all the time because, what happened? I'll be like, shit, I don't know. It's whatever the caption said. Because I really don't watch the whole video, and I skim through it, like make sure it don't violate stuff. I really don't invest in it. This dude really
does not look at his content.
I don't know, shit.
Because I will watch a video, and I'll be laughing or what. And I'll be like, did you see this? He be like, actually, I didn't. I'm like, how did you post it and you didn't really? Because
when you go through so much stuff, you learn how to filter through stuff, and that's what I mastered of filtering. I don't have to watch the whole video. I don't listen to the things that's being said, and I think that's why I get violated and banned so much because I don't be listening to everything.
No, you don't.
You know what I'm saying? I see the numbers. It's doing good. I know this is good. And I post it. I don't invest into it. I don't research it. I don't look into the story of what happened. Is these people still, you know what I'm saying? I just post and move on. And some people, they invest. They see something, they want to Google it, read the articles about it and everything else. And now they invested in that story, and now it's taking a toll on them. And I think that's where I call overindulging and stuff. Because you digging into it like you a detective and shit.
I don't dig in. Well, I'm going to be honest. I could watch a movie and I want to know, how are the characters doing?
Exactly.
No. When
it's
real life. You be
watching a movie and be like, hey, that's the actor that played in Whoop de Whoop. I be like, look, I don't care. This is the movie I'm watching. This is what, I don't care what they play in. I'm watching the movie of this movie.
But I do research in the sense of not to, let's be specific. So not to know people's business. But one thing I'm big on, that's an inspiration to me. I love watching movies that's based on a true story. So I will research, like, is this true? What part of the story is true? What's not true? Because that is what inspires me to see people's life from the bottom to the top. It's like,
well, documentaries I understand, but
I love stuff
that
like
is
that.
Entertainment. I'm watching for what I'm seeing right there for entertainment.
But see, I'm not necessarily watching it for entertainment. I'm watching it to
basically.
Well,
we're talking about documentaries. With movies, you watch.
Well,
it for
if it's not a movie,
like,
if it's not a movie that's based on a true story, there's no reason for me to research anything.
True. So even with that, even on social media, I'm watching for entertainment. Most people, you got some that's going to research and want to figure out the truth.
I'm going to be honest.
You know what I'm saying?
Social media for me is like people with a cigarette. I ask people, why do you smoke? And most people that I asked that question, they said it's like a habit or it's boredom. So honestly, if I'm like doing something,
you don't think about it.
I don't even go on my phone and go on social media. But if I'm just sitting at home, and I'll see myself like go, get on, get off, because I'm not doing anything. And I can't say that's for everyone, but I know like when I'm having a busy day, and that's probably 3 to 4 times out of the week, people say, did you see it? I have no clue of what you're talking about because I don't really like to get attached to social media like that.
But let's switch it up to food though, because I hear
you can overindulge in food too.
People, but the thing is, people eat just to. I guess it feels good to them. You know what I'm saying? Some people feel good.
That's gluttony. That's a total.
It's still overindulging.
That's just being greedy.
No, because some people can't help it. It's like it gives them peace. Some type.
I
of
think
inner
they do
peace.
it like the cigarette. It's out of boredom.
Yes. So even with the cigarette, to the food, to the exercising, to a lot of things, I think revolves back to something mental. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's boredom. I think we have like a microwave mentality. We want gratification. We want it at our fingertips, and we want it now. Because all you have to do is go for a walk, read a book. I love to read books too, mainly when it's about either knowledge or somebody's life.
What makes walks and reading the books a better activity than eating and smoking a cigarette?
Okay, because you're feeding. No, I'm not saying just let's read a love novel. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying let's put something in you that's going to benefit. Because if you're saying they're eating a lot, hey, walking is healthy.
But
reading knowledge is
but
healthy.
who says it's a benefit for them? I mean, it's. You
I'm
know what
not
I'm
saying that specifically.
That
I'm not saying they
cigarette-
have to do that. I'm
but
saying
I'm
what's
saying-
beneficial, what's healthy. It could be something completely different. It could be, hey, they want to get into a pottery class. It could be, I'm saying that was just two examples.
I think it's more of you need to find out what's triggering this problem.
Boredom.
Okay, you say boredom, but why, what's causing you to be bored so fast? You know what I'm saying?
Because we are in an instant gratification generation to where, I mean, think about it. Let's just think about it. When we were kids, right? You being in the house was like a punishment. You went outside, you rode your bike, you put on your skates. You may have two-hand touch football, baseball. Like you went outside and you have fun. So you really didn't have a lot of downtime, right? And so the kids today, they really don't go outside, and let's even think about the adults.
But that's what I'm saying. You can't relate what's your childhood with these childhoods because it's a different generation. So
But that's what I'm saying. We're in a different.
The phone. Their phone is social media. Their fun is different than us roller skating outside because it's a different generation. So as us being the older generation, we don't understand their fun.
I understand their fun. I just think their fun is watching other people have fun.
Yeah, I see them watching kids.
They're watching kids on YouTube.
play
They're
the game.
watching somebody else. So they're watching people have fun instead of having fun. And even adults, even us, you watch people
living life.
You're watching people live life instead of living life. What do I always say? I get so irritated when I'm out and people want to take pictures of millions. Like, I'm in the moment. I want to enjoy the moment. Yes, you should have pictures, and I hate when every time we take pictures, people want to put them on social media. Like, yeah, let's take pictures for keepsake. Let's take them for memories to look back on. But I don't want to spend, I'm at some place fun.
Let's be realistic. Ain't nobody looking back at no photo album. The photo album is social media.
But I don't, listen, if I'm somewhere, and you know I'm big on this, I'm having fun. I'm not even thinking about my phone because I'm in the moment. I'm living. And that's what I'm saying. We are in a generation where people want to watch other people live. And this is where the problem comes in. Overindulging, watching other people live. Now they expect their life should be like this, or they want their life to be like this. So now they're envious. They're upset.
Depressed.
Depressed because this person got a new car and they're still in
Not even knowing it's a rental.
Yeah. And so I think when you overindulge in things like that, you're setting yourself up for failure because it's no benefit. Why do you want to sit and watch somebody's life all day?
It's entertaining.
But at some point, don't you want to get up and enjoy life?
Their life is boring. That's why they on social media.
Yeah,
that's I mean, bottom line.
So it goes back to what I was saying, boredom.
I guess, yeah. Because if you feel like your life is exciting, you will be outliving it, I guess. And document it.
Well, I think as an adult, every day is not going to be fun. Well, if you're a responsible adult, every day is not going to be fun and filled with, I mean, it's not. But at least try to be productive. You know what I mean? If you watching somebody's life and all day long, you're not productive. You can't be. You just can't.
I agree. Yeah, because you. I guess I always say either you the
consumer
or the creator or whatever the other one is. I got it wrong. I can't. You know what I'm saying? So you're creating
or you're consuming.
Yeah. So it's which one? Either or. You can't be both. You know, so that's overindulging in social media. You can overindulge in the gym. You can overindulge on food.
I think you even indulge in relationships.
Well, how would you overindulge?
Because when you just spend all your time with this person and you don't have time for self, you don't have time for other things, I think that's overindulging, where it could become codependent. It's unhealthy.
So spending too much time with your spouse is unhealthy. So
I didn't say spending too much time. I think you should spend time. I'm saying when all your time overindulging just with this one, like every time I get a break, I got to it's kind of like, okay.
Love. What's wrong with love?
No, there isn't anything wrong with being in love, right? But I also believe you need time for self.
But if you calling
you need
somebody
time
you
for to be
love, that
productive.
is time for you. That's time for yourself. It's feeding you because this is what you
Okay.
want. You're in
Okay.
love.
This is what I tell
You know what I'm
girls,
saying?
young women and girls all the time, right? So this is, I always tell my daughter this. Don't get a boyfriend and basically stop talking to your friends and everything becomes about this boy. Because when you break up and you neglected those relationships and they're no longer there. And so I don't care how in love you are. I still think you need an identity outside of that relationship.
Balance your relationship.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
unhealthy. It's codependent. It's overindulging in a relationship. Your whole life should not be about another person. That's codependency. You should have other goals like, okay, we're married. We have marriage goals and we also have family goals. And then we also have individual goals, right? My every day and time is not with you. Yeah, I said it
Right.
like that.
Right. She's her everyday time. That's why she be running out this house so fast.
Whatever.
It's all right.
It's all right. No, I just really believe that though. Everything should have a balance, you know. And I always tell my daughters like, hey, if you dating, just do not make your center focus about this guy. You know, you still need to nurture and water your other relationships.
Facts. So don't overindulge in that guy, that woman, because they might not be there the next day. You
But
know
it's
what I'm
not even
saying?
really about not being there. That's just an example I use with them because they're so young. But what I'm saying is the person could be there forever. Like, you know what I'm saying? People probably didn't think we would be together as long as we are. But I still think it's unhealthy, even if you're together for a lifetime, that you're you're overindulging with this person. Again, it's codependent and it's unhealthy. You should always, everything should have a balance. Everything should have a balance.
Shit, we should have named the show Balance instead of Overindulging.
Yeah, I just think a healthy life is a balanced life.
But when you say balance, balance it equals a negative and a positive that will balance things out. You know what I'm saying?
I don't necessarily think balance is a negative and positive, but we'll go to the definition because you know I'm big on
because
words
gonna
and
need,
definitions.
It's a little drama, a little chaos here and there.
I don't need a little drama.
To balance your life out. You know what I'm
I
saying?
don't need a little drama. I do not.
Because everybody don't live in Pleasantville.
I don't know.
So not too much drama, not too much chaos. You got to balance it out because it's the other side too. People like the bullshit. A lot of people in there like the drama. So you can't overindulge in all that bullshit. Y'all got to balance it out.
It doesn't say negative and positive. It's giving multiple.
I mean, that's just a
examples.
natural thing of balance. You got to have a negative and a positive.
It's not even giving a good definition of balance. But okay. But it's definitely not a negative and positive. And why, you like a little drama in your life?
No, I mean, sometimes a little drama spikes up some shit.
No, not for me.
No, I used to like the drama back in my young 20s.
But you now in your
You know what
40,
I'm saying?
you're
Yeah.
young
We
40.
was
So,
decided to go out, bullshit pop off and everything like that.
and that ain't never been my mindset ever.
Yeah.
Like I've always been, if trouble come to me, you started, I'm gonna finish it for sure. However, like I've never
No, I
just
wasn't trying to
like
start.
drama.
I never started drama. I'm just saying, you know, it makes shit more exciting.
I guess the reason why too, because I know stuff get real. And then I know how I was, and you know, I'm not the biggest and baddest. I know how other people are too. Like, so for me, like if it's avoidable, let's avoid it. I mean, if you started, I'm definitely gonna finish it. I'm not running from anything. But at the same time, my mindset was I understand how things get, and it could get real in the streets. So for me, even with drama, I remember like a few years ago, I was being a good cousin and kind of told a cousin something that was going on. And I was doing a good deed and it turned into this whole big fiasco to where I was like, I shouldn't even try to help her. You know what I mean? And so for me, it's like, I really don't like the stress of drama or negativity. Like it's too draining for me.
and that's the key word right there, draining.
Yeah, negativity and drama is draining. Like I
drain you.
can't, like even when I had some friends that were just always drama in their relationship and all, like it becomes draining. You know what I mean? And so some people may get a kick out of that. For me, it's like I don't want that in my life. So I was telling Dimitrius the other day, remember we were talking, we were saying I was like, dang, we should do, or I ain't gonna give y'all my ideas, but I was talking about a reality show. And then he is like, but they want drama. And I was like, I'm probably not gonna make it. Because my life would, to some people, would be boring because there is no drama. But I like that. I like the fact that can't nobody call me and such said, you said it is. Like, yeah, that ain't the life for me.
Now, once you get a taste of peace, you get it. And I wonder, is it overindulging in peace?
I don't think you can overindulge in peace.
I don't know, because once you get that taste of peace, that's what you want. You don't want that bullshit around. Like, you know what I'm saying? I like to be in a peaceful environment. You ain't got to worry. Because when you in a tension spot in the situation, you could feel that energy. I don't know if some of y'all ever felt that energy, but you could feel that energy.
That's what I'm saying. When you walk in a room and this person got an issue with this person, it's like, should I invite this person?
Yeah,
like, all that's annoying to me. And it's like, okay, they having issues. This person think they want, and then it's everybody at your, like,
and you can
just
sense that energy in their environment. You know what I'm saying? Anything could pop off, and it's like those environments is not peaceful.
It makes it not fun. So when you talk about a little bit of drama, which you're being hypocritical because you made it seem like you want drama.
I was just saying, for if
you were playing devil's advocate.
Some people out there like the drama. Some people live off the drama. Some people
but you don't overindulge
in the drama.
But when that drama really, when it gets real, when it get real, because everybody just thinks, oh, it's drama is fun until somebody get killed. So, because you don't know how far somebody go. It's all fun and games until it get real. And I think from the time I was a kid, I understood, like, this could get real. You know what I mean? It's just not going to stay here. And then coming from where I come from, I always knew, like, nah.
She said Claremont. Okay.
Really? Like I said, ask about the CVs,
Claremont.
the Claremont Village Apartments. Okay. So, but it could really get real, like real quick. And so drama for me is like, it's never been no. Like I said, if you started it, I would finish it. But I'm definitely not just, oh yeah, I love the drama.
Well, you're not saying you love it. It's people that love the drama, and that's what I'm saying. You can also overindulge in the BS,
but it's unhealthy because what is the aftermath of the drama? You know what I'm saying?
I get your ass whooped.
Not even that. not even that. Just not having the. Okay, somebody calling your house. Let's say just the typical caddy, a rumor. Such and such said, you said, and that person said. Now this person, like. Who wants to deal with that every day?
That's some people don't, but some people that's their life. They like it.
But it's still overindulging and it's unhealthy.
Balance, you gotta balance it. They probably go to church on Sunday.
And then they get to church and deacon such and such said, you said, and that's it. Like, I ain't got time.
Oh goodness. Yeah, so then you gotta stop overindulging in all the activities.
I think just stop overindulging, period, and find balance. Find balance in life. Okay, it's cool to be on social media.
How would one balance? Like, you know what I'm saying? If this is like, because you saying they overindulge in this and that, but apparently it's feeding something and they like it. You know what I'm saying?
Of course. So people do stuff that they like.
It's like
but just because I like it, doesn't mean it's healthy.
It's not easy though. It's not easy to stop if you enjoy this. It's like a junkie. You know what I'm saying? Taking hits.
But this is okay until that junkie almost OD, or that junkie lose everything they had. I mean, you got to hit rock bottom, and if you hit rock bottom and you still don't get it, because everything has a consequence. Well, not everything has a consequence, but I'm saying when you live over and indulging it's going to be a reaction to that. So, I mean, the thing is, do you like it this much more than your life? Because it's going to infect and impair your life at some point. So if I eat too much cake, I'm gonna become overweight.
So let's take it, put the responsibility on the spouse. Let's say we got a married couple.
Do you gonna put the responsibility on the spouse?
Oh, yeah, because let's say you have a married couple and one of them overindulge in sex. They always got to have sex. Mm-hmm. So it's the other couple's job to please this person, because if they don't, they gonna move out and go get it somewhere else. So now it's like the blame on the other spouse. Like,
that's balance.
They got an addiction, but they can't solve the addiction. So it's like, what should that person do?
You need to go get help. You need to go see a sex therapist. You need to go to have, obviously you are addicted to sex, because even in that's overindulging, because what you're saying is you're basically using your spouse as a stress reliever. Your spouse should not be a stress reliever. You know what I mean? You're basically putting pressure on your spouse to say, hey, I have to basically be up here all the time or it's a problem. So the spouse that doesn't want to have sex all the time has to say, okay, my spouse's libido is high, I have to up it up. But then the other spouse has to say, it's too high, I have to bring it down. Balance.
Compromise. So they got to come to a mutual agreement.
Balance.
Okay.
Is your libido super high? Because you just got super quiet.
Oh my goodness. No, I'm just saying. I was just thinking of the next situation that people could have out there that, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like you try to put your problem to the other person and making them responsible of your problem. And
I don't think a person should ever be responsible for your problems. I think it's an inner issue. You know what I mean? I don't make you responsible for my problems, but I do love and I am excited when you help me solve them. But what's going on with me and internally, that's not something you can fix. That's something I have to fix.
Where should they get it fixed at? Like you said, therapist, huh? I guess.
Spiritual, faith, therapy, something. But at some point, I think in life, you have to get tired of your situation. And that's the reality of it. Until you're tired, you're not going to change it. You know what I mean? You have to be tired of going through this. You have to be tired of sitting on social media wishing your life would be like. You have to be tired of saying, I want to lose the weight. You have to be tired of saying, I want a better marriage.
You got to be tired of saying you want sex all the time.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Okay. I ain't going to say you got to be tired of having sex all the time. You probably will be tired of arguing with your mate or the disconnect that's coming from you wanting sex all the time with your mate. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not you wanting sex all the time that's the problem. It's the aftermath of you doing that is what becomes a problem. So when you're tired of those situations that you created for yourself, that is only when and then you will make the change. But again, it goes back to you. Are you tired? Just like how when a person says somebody keeps getting cheated on over and over and over and over. I always tell people when they like, oh, this person cheating. I'll be like, when you get tired, you'll know. Because there's no point in having a conversation with you. It's not until you truly get tired and fed up. Yeah, you're going to talk about it a million times over. And I always say, are you tired? And I'll be like, why she always ask me that? Because you're not going to change it until you're tired of it. I could be tired watching all day long, but it's not until you get tired and want to change it is when it's really going to change. I hate that. Don't do that again. And it's so loud.
So when you get tired, you will make the change.
Right. So it's not someone else's responsibility to assist you with the change. It's kind of like somebody that they overindulge in kicking it all day. No productivity.
I said overindulge and kicking it.
We know people that they overindulge in kicking it all day. They do absolutely nothing all day long. So the question is, when are you gonna get tired of being broke? Yeah. You know what I mean? When are you gonna get tired of being in this lifestyle? So it's not until you get tired of your situation is when you truly will change your situation.
No, I could agree with that one, because once you get tired and fed up, you're going to make changes. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's all about you and your choices. So if you making these bad choices, if you decide to kick it all day and don't have no money in your pocket, you can't be mad at nobody but yourself.
I don't think sometimes they are mad at people. But what I'm saying is, I don't think you should basically be looking at other people for your resource when you're not basically making it a point to be your own resource. At what point do you get tired of not having money because you're kicking it all day? That's overindulging and kicking it. And that's why I say when you overindulge, there has to be some type of balance, because there's going to be an effect at some point if you overindulge. I can't just be like, oh yeah, I'm going to just sit here and watch TV all day, every day, all day. Something's going to go lacking at some point.
Yeah, I mean, you put it like that. You can really see it like that. If you really overindulge in something, it's something bad. I want to say bad.
It's a
but
negative side to it.
It's a negative something going to happen.
It's a consequence to it. You can't overindulge in anything. There always has to be a balance.
So the key thing from this episode, man, is balance. You got to balance this shit out. Balance life out. It's difficult, but it's possible.
Put it like this. Let's say if I'm on my knees all day. Now, I could talk to God. I talk to God all day.
Oh.
That's my homeboy. It's my father. So if I'm on my knees all day long, right, and I'm just praying.
You just say you just praying. You don't got to say you're on your knees. Just say you praying.
Keep it
Just say you
PG,
praying.
okay? I'm on my knees praying all day, right? At some point, God is going to tell me to get up and go take action. Faith without works is dead. So God will even tell you to take action. So if you're just, because some people be like, oh, but I got to do God all day. Yeah, but if you're just sitting in one spot talking to God all day, I think God himself will even be like, hey, get up. Now go do what we talked about. Go put action in motion. I can't bless what you don't create. So, because I know somebody spiritual, like, but yeah, but that don't make sense because you can't overindulge in God. Yeah, I think God at some point would tell you to get up and go act.
The hand gesture. I mean, people can't see you pointing this shit. Like, she over here pointing this shit. Like, I don't think that people could see you pointing where the direction. What direction? Point. Which way to go again? Point. Like, shit, they can't see you. Oh, my goodness. She's so funny because she really out here giving a show. Y'all just can't see
I
it.
talk with my hands.
She really pointed the direction you should get up and go, y'all.
Whatever.
Too bad y'all don't know. So y'all going to have to figure that one out on yourself.
Basically, because I know it's
Go
somebody
north.
that's going to be listening and say, that doesn't make, because, you know, you always got someone that want to play devil's advocate.
Ain't no playing devil's. I always got dumb people on my page.
Listen, I don't think no question is a stupid question.
I do.
I don't. Because at the end of the day, you're asking for clarity. But I only think it's a stupid question. Listen. I only think it's a stupid question is when you ask the question when in reality you don't want to hear the information behind the question. So it's like you're asking a question, a challenge, but you really don't want to hear what the person has to say because you already feel like you know the answer. That's a stupid question. But if I ask a question,
You just said there's no such thing as stupid question, though.
that is, if I ask a question,
But you just said it wasn't no
be
such
quiet.
thing.
If I ask a question and I really don't know the answer, I don't believe that's a stupid question because I'm really seeking clarity. It's only stupid when you ask, not seeking any clarity, because what are you asking for?
Okay. And my point is, if you're stupid and you ask any question, it's stupid. Bottom line.
Well, that's where we'll agree to disagree.
No, I hate. But first of all, if you're not paying attention and listening, and then like say if I say, well, you get to the corner, make a left, and you ask me,
That's
which,
not a stupid
which
question,
way,
though.
which way to go. That's a stupid ass question. 'Cause
No,
you
it's not.
should have been listening
Because
like,
they're seeking clarity because they didn't hear you. Now, if they heard you, because people, this is stupid. When I hate when people do
they're
this.
like, huh?
What? Like you just heard, and they know they heard what you said. And I think, I don't know if people do that to get a pause or to get some time to think about what they're going to say. But it's like, why are you saying what when you could clearly repeat back to me what I just asked you? No, but if I'm doing something, because I do it all the time. If I'm multitasking, I'm probably not listening to you. And I might say, what'd you say? That's not a stupid question. I'm seeking clarity. I really didn't hear the directions. But if I ask a question, not wanting to hear the answer, that's a stupid question because what are you asking me for? Because you really don't want to hear the information.
See, y'all, I say it's no such thing as stupid question. Let's move on to overindulging.
Hypocritical. You just basically went back on everything.
I mean, just in
you said.
case somebody take a clip out of this and use this clip, they could say
People going to use the
you know
clip
what I'm
they
saying?
want to clip.
Exactly.
Use.
So I'm gonna give them both answers. You know what I'm saying? So they can have options.
That's
Giving
annoying
y'all
too.
options.
Some people overindulge in trying to go back and look at people's. You know, I'm glad I deleted everything off my Facebook. Not to say it was bad. You ain't gonna go back and get no history, but it's like you will go back overindulging and looking at someone's tweets. You gotta have a lot of time on your hands to bring up a 10-year-old tweet that somebody said.
that is.
Like, that's crazy. You're overindulging. You're overindulging in someone else's business in social media.
Yes.
You're not getting paid for that.
Especially if they are tweeter. You know what I'm saying? That's like thousands of posts. Like, god damn.
But this is the thing. Who cares that much? Unless you're running a campaign or something and you trying to find dirt on your opponent, your opponent, I just don't see, which I probably still wouldn't, but that's me. But people are different. Hey, but I just don't see digging in somebody's social media 10 years back, 5 years back. You overindulging. You're overindulging in someone else's business.
Well, I think we overindulging this episode.
I was thinking that we out.
Oh shit! So y'all can find us. You can find me at I am GrindFace on everything.
Everything for me. Everything Saniyyah Mayo.
Okay, actually, why we gotta go over this every time?
Oh,
show.
I'm sorry. As I always say, as we always say, continue to break cycles.